working with my special guest, my little brother Hudson. Say hi.
Hi.
And he's 6. I'm going to be making a craft with him today. And so what we're going to be doing today is we are going to turn these white index cards into a really neat book. They're really plain, they're cheap. You can get them from the dollar store, from office supply stores. They don't cost very much. You're going to need some gesso. This is by Liquitex. It is for prepping surfaces. It's matte finish, it's more fluid than thick, and it's 100% opaque, which is very good. So this is the kind I use. You can use any kind, I guess. It'll give you a different effect depending on what kind you use, like the how opaque it is, and the finish. Like you could get a glossy finish too. But anyways, you can use one of these roller brushes. They're good. But one thing you need to remember when using these brushes with gesso is that you definitely need to wash it after, like pretty quick after. Otherwise, it'll harden and ruin your brush. Alright, so step number 1, I'm going to be using one of these index cards to hold the gesso. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my gesso. Shake it a little first. Make sure you shake it pretty good. Then, stuck. Oh my goodness. There we go. You're going to open up your gesso. You're going to pour some on the index card. So this is just kind of like holding card. You want to make sure you have something done on your work surface, just because gesso does get pretty messy sometimes. And your clothing, it will not come out of your clothing very easy at all. Yeah. It's hard, hey? Alright, so what we're going to do is, what would you like to use first, Hudson? The sponge or the paintbrush?
The sponge.
Alright, so you take your sponge, get some gesso on it, kind of roll it so you get gesso on the entire sponge.
Okay.
All the way around. Alright, now, then you just paint it on.
Okay.
And you don't want it like 100%, you can go.
Okay.
You don't want it 100% covering your surface. Like, I think, yeah, so you just want to leave some like blank spaces near the edges. Really good thing, like, no, so you don't want to cover all the edges. Get some over here. A really good thing with the sponge is that it gives it kind of like a neat look, and it's really, they're fun to work with, hey?
Yeah.
And you want to remember, with the index card, a cool thing about using an index card is it has a nice texture and a cool pattern and stuff. Alright, let's have TC for a second. You want to push somewhat hard, otherwise it's not going to work. Let's see. Alright. Now what you can do is you want to let these dry. Now, gesso takes a really long time to dry. What I usually do is I usually heat gun mine. So I'm just going to do a couple. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to do a couple and then I'm going to heat gun them. Ready for the next one? I think I'm going to do a book of, I think, maybe 6 or 7 of them. So I'll show you one more. I'll show you, we'll use the sponge instead. Alright, so you just kind of sponge it on. Here, let me just get some more gesso. It does require quite a bit of gesso if you're using a sponge, just because the sponge absorbs. No, Hudson. Just because the sponge does absorb so much of the gesso. You'll notice when you're cleaning it, it's crazy. So make sure you push somewhat hard there, baby. Show you one more, and then you can do your own. And just for the purpose of not making this video too long, I'm gonna do the rest of them off video. You want to make sure you get somewhat near the edges. You want like a different look, right? So there you have it. Now this one looks pretty cool. Have it whichever way you want. Alright, so you can do the rest of yours. Alright, so the next step is to get them to dry. Now, Hudson is not going to help me with this step, just as if you are working with a little kid, you don't want to let them use your embossing heat tool just as it gets super hot. So I'll just show you drying one. You want to make sure it feels dry to the touch, just because it is gesso, and I don't know, that's just what they say on the bottle. The heat gun will dry it really fast. You can air dry them too if you want. It's your choice. Air drying takes like 24 hours though. Alright, so the next step we're going to do is going to be to cut some off. Because I don't want mine this size. So you can keep yours that size if you want to, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off. So right now they're 4 inches, so I'm going to go to 3 inches. Just because I want a little bit of a taller rub. Slice it right off. I guess you could do this before you put the gesso on too. Be a smart thing to do, but I didn't think of it before then. Alright, so go ahead and do that with all of them. Alright, so the next step is going to be to decide where your lines are going to be. Or not your lines, your holes. Now because these are already lined, I'm just going to use that as my guide. So with a pen, or a pencil, whatever you decide to use, you can come do this for me, babe. You are going to put a dot. Now, you don't want to make it too big of a dot, otherwise it'll show through when you hole punch. But, so I'm going to do one, and then Hudson is going to do the rest for me. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 holes, or lines. Oh, that's okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to decide at how many intervals you want holes, or like how many rings you want, or whatever you're using to hold it. So I just want 2. So I'm going to put 1 on the third one, in, and then 1 on the third one in this way. There we go. Gonna make some dots. So count 3 down. No. So I want you to put a dot, a small dot. Oh, that's okay. No, don't try and fix it. It's fine. Here, take the pen. Now count 3 from this side, not including that little bit. Good. Alright, so now you can probably 2 is all you need. And now what we're going to do is I have my Big Bite by Crocodile, and I'm going to set it to the 3/16 setting, which is that, it's the bigger hole. And I'm going to take it and punch a hole. So Hudson, you can push the button. Good. And then punch a hole right there. Oh. Good. Now you can see I have holes punched. Now you can go ahead and do that with the rest of them. Alright. The next step with your book is going to be deciding how you're going to find it. So as you can see, we've hole punched all these. See, Hudson? Yep. We didn't put dots on all of them, just some of them. And some of them we just used a template, which makes it very easy. So I'm going to use binder rings. These are really great. I need to pick up more of them. You can get them in many different sizes. I only have one left, which is very bad. I use them for everything. So you line it up, and then Hudson, do you want to put that through there?